Korea, Saudi Arabia, Zimbabwe, America. The group Human Rights Watch says the U.S. has become a global threat to human rights thanks to Donald Trump's election as president. The group says that because the president condemns illegal immigration, opposes abortion, and once criticized a disabled reporter from the New York Times, he embodies a threat to human rights worldwide. Well, we're joined now by Human Rights Watch Executive Director Kenneth Roth. Mr. Roth, thanks a lot for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Tucker. Why don't I begin with that introduction, because, you know, that wasn't really an honest explanation of what the book said. What you're quoting from is Human Rights Watch's annual World Report. It covers 90 countries around the world, including those that you mentioned there. You know, we condemn, you know, Egypt, the atrocities being committed by Putin, Assad's killing of people in Syria, you know, Putin, Erdogan, I mean, a number of the friends of Trump. So, in addition, we highlight when we talk about the global rise of populists. And it isn't, oh, just Trump criticized the disabled journalists. It's that there are a group of people, Trump included, but also Marine Le Pen in France, Geert Wilders in the Netherlands, Viktor Orban in Hungary, Jaroslaw Kaczynski in Poland, a series of people who are rising in Western countries. And what they have in common is that all of them claim a special insight into what the majority wants, and claims that that majority desire, the will of the people, justifies their basically dumping on certain disfavored minorities. We saw that in the case of Trump with his xenophobia, his racism, his nativism, his misogyny, his Islamophobia.
I've heard the lecture.
Yeah, and
but hold on, wait, stop. You just said I was dishonest in my characterization.
Yes, because you said that he said Trump is a threat to the world because he mocked a disabled journalist. Now, I think that was the wrong thing to do, but to say that that's because he's a threat to the world, honestly, we think he's a threat to, frankly, democracy in the United States, because I'm not sure that this is a man who actually respects the limits on executive power. But our big concern globally is that this is a man who I don't think wants to stand up for human rights around the world.
Okay, I understand your position, but I just want
my position. I'm just describing what the report said.
Right, your World Report 2017, and I just want to, and look, by the way, I think that there are human rights abuses in lots of countries, and the U.S. has committed human rights abuses, and I'm glad that there are people watching it. I'm not against monitoring human rights abuses, I'm for it.
And the U.S. is one of the 90 countries that Human Rights Watch covers, exactly.
What I'm bothered by is the distortion of scale and the obviously partisan motives you have, which I think belittle your mission, but I want to give you an example. So you devote, on the subject of Zimbabwe, which is an openly racist country committing ethnic cleansing against a minority in the country, as you know, you commit 1,398 words. Cuba, which keeps dissidents in prison, 1,742. North Korea, or the worst country in the world, 1,609. Iran, 1,896. Saudi Arabia, 2,500. United States, 3,782 words. So I guess my point is, if it's more than twice the space that you spend describing the human rights abuses in countries that define the term human rights abuses. It's all out of whack.
Do you really think being counting words is the measure of how severe somebody's human rights violations are?
It's one measure. Don't you have to look at what the words
say, Tucker?
Yes, and I did.
You accuse me of being partisan. Let's look, for example, I had an op-ed